Hello. So I decided I would go ahead and make a video of one of my oldest patterns that I created is a soap saver. And anybody who uses bar soap knows that these are amazing. So what I have done so far is I am using a 4mm hook and I am using cotton yarn. So just grab some cotton yarn. There we go. Sorry, trying to get it to focus. There we go. And then you can go ahead and start. The first thing you want to do is make a slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 12. Once you finish chaining 12, you are going to half double crochet across to the very end. And if you do not know how to half double crochet, head to my tutorial of beginner stitches, and I explain everything on there and show you exactly how to do it. Once you have those half double crochet all the way to the end, you are going to chain 1, and instead of flipping your work like you're used to doing, you're actually going to work your way around to the other side. Okay? So that is where I am at right now. So you're going to chain 1, then continue the half double crochets over here. So go ahead and put a half double crochet inside this half double crochet right there, and then right here, and you can go ahead and start pulling in the end, your tail. Get rid of that tail as you are doing your half double crochets. And it's going to make a nice oval. This will make the base of your soap saver. Okay, so far I've got 5. Half double crochets, 6, and I'm trying not to go too fast if you're going along with me. 7, 8, 9, 10, and remember we have 11 stitches total, so there's our 11th stitch right there. Perfect. So you see, we just made our base of the soap saver. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now that we've done that, let me look at my pattern here. I'm actually working on getting them typed out, edited, and hopefully on my Etsy shop soon, because I've had quite a few people request these different patterns, but I'm still figuring out how to actually create the formatting. Okay, so once you get into that 11th stitch, well, it technically is 11th, you are going to go ahead and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into the first stitch. So go ahead and flip your work, double crochet, chain 1, and skip the stitch, and then you're going to double crochet into that stitch and repeat until you get to the beginning of this stitch. So we're going to go around this oval again, okay? Okay, and now you should be seeing some form. It's very fascinating how this takes shape very quickly. This is a very fast project, by the way. It makes a great gift. I highly recommend if you are trying to figure out a fun gift for your mom, or maybe even a teacher, and you want to give like a really nice bar of soap, like the kind that is homemade. You can give a soap saver with it. That way it is more personal. And make sure that you are chaining 1 after your double crochet. I missed 1 stitch and had to go back, but we're all good now. There we go. Makes a difference. I also like to give these as a gift for Christmas and as part of like a spa type of gift set. Such a fun idea. I highly recommend it. But the whole point of this is I want you, my dear crocheters, to be able to do it yourself. Obviously, you are welcome to head to my Etsy shop and buy my products. I would love that too. But I want to teach you guys how to enjoy the wonderful world of crochet. What better way to teach you that than to help you with the pattern? Okay, so you will see we've already got the bottom of our soap saver. Isn't that cool? I love this pattern. When I came up with it, I just wanted something that was simple but still had a delicate look to it. Okay, so I meant to mention, once you are done with the double crochets all the way around, you are supposed to slip stitch into the first double crochet at the beginning. That way you have a nice little kind of looks like a basket. It looks like a little basket. Okay, now we are going to chain 3 again. And we're going to repeat the same thing we just did. And you're just going to keep going around and around and around until we find our favorite our like perfect height that we want. Now, I have in my original pattern where you can just keep going around doing double crochets, but I think I'm actually going to do it differently. I'm feeling adventurous. I don't know if y'all feel adventurous, but let's do a V-stitch instead. So if you have not seen a V-stitch, you make a double crochet, chain 1, and you go back into that same stitch and make another double crochet. And it makes a V. See? There's your V. Okay, and you're going to chain 1. And instead of going into this stitch right here, let's go into the gap. And make a V-stitch. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's do it. Like I said, this is what crocheting is all about. You don't have to follow a specific way of doing things. Once you figure out how to do specific stitches, you are able to just let your mind run with the colors, run with the hook, and crochet whatever you want. Figure it out as you go. That's what I do. And I always have so much fun with it. I make mistakes all the time. And then I have to rip out the work I just did. But that's okay. It's all about learning. Okay, so we've got these stitches. Now, I'm wondering, based on what I'm looking at, it looks like this might not work. If we do V-stitches all the way around, it looks like it's increasing the size too much. So, you're welcome to try doing V-stitches, but I'm going to take this out. I want to do V-stitches, like I said, but let me figure out how to do them a little bit more spread out. Okay, so I just ripped out that row, which again, I told you, we all make mistakes. Okay, so we're gonna try that again. I've got a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet in the same stitch like I did before. I'm chaining 1, but instead of going into this first gap, I'm going to skip into the second gap and see if that makes a difference. And make a V-stitch. I have a feeling it's going to make a huge difference, but we're going to find out. We won't know until I try. Okay, I think is working now. Yeah. And it has a cool look to it still. Okay. So if you are following along, we are doing a V-stitch in every second gap. Every second gap. So don't go into every gap. You want to count. There's one gap right there. So don't go into this gap. You want to go into this one instead. The second one. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I feel a lot more better. I feel a lot better about this. Okay, second gap. Yeah, you don't want your soap to fall through a hole. That wouldn't be very helpful. I don't think there'd be any purpose to it. Okay, and if I count this correctly, here's our first stitch right here. If I count this correctly, the second gap is right there. Okay, which is right next to our first double crochet. So that works beautifully. And if you are doing something totally different for your soap saver, go for it. This is all about doing what you feel like you want to do. Okay, slip stitch. And this is how it's looking so far. Isn't that cute? Trying to let it catch. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going. I think what I'm gonna do is a double crochet line or row. So go ahead and chain 3. And you know what to do. We're going to crochet. We're going to double crochet into this first stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, chain 1, double crochet, keep doing this, chain 1 and skip a stitch. I'm making sure I actually skip a stitch. If you don't skip a stitch, it's going to throw off not only your counting, if you're counting. Sometimes it's okay if you don't count, other times you do need to count. And then also it can throw off the gapping. Let's see here. 1, 2. Okay. Usually I have music playing in the background when I'm crocheting, or I'll be like watching a TV show or something. But recently I've been working on school so much that I just don't have time to do that. So I have started crocheting while I am working on assignments, because crocheting is helping me with the stress, and it's also helping with my thought process. Fun fact: if you have a hard time focusing on anything, crocheting probably could help you. If you want to crochet, I suggest picking it up. If you're able to pick up a hook and some yarn, and you think you can hold the yarn and hook without getting stuck on the fact that not everything will come out perfectly, especially when you're a beginner. You will go through times where things come out very oddly shaped and clumped, and you're just like, what on earth is going on? That's okay. That is part of the learning process. But it could really help. Take it from someone who has had 2 strokes and several concussions. I've had so many concussions, I actually don't remember how many concussions I've had. So that just tells you. And yeah, every time I've gone through something, crocheting has always helped. Okay, I think we are almost back to our first chain. Yep, there it is. So chain 1, and then go ahead and slip stitch into that first chain of your first stitch. Well, the first stitch. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. And look, this is how it's coming so far. Isn't that cute? So you've got the double crochet, then you've got the V-stitch, and then you've got double crochet. So you know what's coming next. Chain 3, and we are going to go into the let's see here, count my gaps here, make sure I come out even. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. Okay. So if we go into this first gap here, chain 1, go back into the gap. Got our first V-stitch. Chain 1, skip this first gap, go into the next one. There's your V-stitch. And chain 1 again. And then we're going to go into the next gap after. So, not the next gap. I apologize. Not this gap. The second gap. It's always going to be the second gap. You're going to chain 1, find the second gap, do another V-stitch, chain 1, find the second gap, perfect, chain 1, find the second gap, you guys are doing so good. Okay, and now if you look, here's our first stitch, and here's where we're at. So we have 2 gaps left. So you are gonna go ahead and you're gonna go into the second gap. Actually, hold on. Are you gonna go into the second gap, or are you gonna go ahead and go into this? Double check my brain. I think, if I remember correctly, you're supposed to go into the second gap. I mean, that's what makes sense to me. Let's go for it. And then we will connect our chain. Here we go. Slip stitch into that first stitch. Okay, let's see what we're doing here for the size. Did that make it bigger, smaller? Because we don't want to like make it shrink. Okay, yep, we're good. Yeah, see, it is coming along. Okay, so you guys can continue on from here. Just keep repeating. Now you're gonna go ahead and do double crochet. Okay, then you're gonna do V-stitch, and you can end with double crochet or half double crochet. Totally up to you. When you get done, you are going to, let's see, when you get done, you are going to slip stitch into the top of your stitch and cut the yarn. You're going to use a darning needle and sew it in. So that's done. And then you're going to use a 3.5 mm hook. Okay, so smaller hook than this one. This is a 4 point, I think this is 4. Is it 4? Yes, 4.0. This is a 4. You want a 3.5 for the next step. Take a 3.5 hook, and you're going to chain 70 and single crochet tightly into each chain, and then pull through the end of the yarn in the last chain to make a knot. And then you're going to weave in the rope at the very top, because that's going to make it be able to open and close. And then you're going to pull the knot tightly at each end, not together, and trim the ends. And that's it. You're done. Okay? So thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial of how to make a soap saver. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. And I hope you visit my Etsy shop, SarahLeeCraftDesigns. If not, that's totally fine. I'm just glad that you came and decided to check out this video and learn how to make a soap saver. Take care.